It was the end of the 1990s. A lot of people were like, man, I just hope it's going to be good. Hello, welcome.
All power to the people's right to live is mine.
So we had waited and waited and waited and waited. And when we finally gave up on there being more Star Wars ever, we got word. Here comes more Star Wars. And so, Star Wars people, and that is a type of people, is Star Wars people, we were, oh yeah, more Star Wars. To whet our appetites for more Star Wars, the first thing we heard was that they are going to re-release the 3 movies that we already love. Perfect. In the theaters. You could go back to the movie theaters and go see Star Wars again. And so we went back and we saw Star Wars again, and they changed them. They changed stuff. Like the stuff that was added to the Star Wars movies, it didn't make anything better, and that was confusing. We were like, why are the movies different? And if they're going to be different, why aren't they better? And so we were kind of like, nervous. Like we were cautiously optimistic about new Star Wars movies, this prequel series that is going to happen like even before Star Wars, and like, you know, add depth and wonderment to the whole Star Wars universe that we knew and loved. We were like, man, I just really hope this isn't terrible. You know, and how could it be terrible? It's gonna be Star Wars, you know? I mean, it's Star Wars. And me personally, I was just like, I hope it's really gonna bring it with the politics, because, you know, I was listening to a lot of Rage Against the Machine, and I was like, yeah, man, we need something that's gonna like stir up the masses and get people to, you know, get people back in the mood to oppose evil, and, you know, and be against imperialism. And, you know, I was like, yeah, I hope they bring it. So the Phantom Menace came out. They did not bring it. It had great special effects. It was a movie. It was like if you took special effects, like great, like, you know, like, you know, really action packed and lots of action, and you took like all that and you just like wrapped it around like nothing. Kind of like if you went to see a couple hours of special effects. Except that there were bad things. There were bad things, and the bad things were very confusing. The main, like, one huge bad thing was like Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks is like, there's a planet, and this planet had a people on it, and those people were called the Gungans. And, you know, George Lucas was saying, hey, Star Wars is for kids, and, you know, if you don't believe me, Star Wars is for kids, we're going to always prove to you that Star Wars is for kids. The Gungans, like, they were computer-generated people that just seemed to be there to make Caribbean culture look stupid. What is Caribbean culture doing in a galaxy far, far away a long, long time ago? Like, first of all, that makes no sense. But also, just, why? Like, why would you do that? And in interviews that have come out since, you know, in the 20 years since those movies came out, there's been, you know, a lot made, a lot said. Apparently George Lucas was like, you know, he saw Ahmed Best in Stomp, which is wonderful. Ahmed Best seems like a wonderful actor, and George Lucas was just like, you know, do something silly or whatever, you know, I don't know, whatever he said to him. Because, yeah, Ahmed Best, you know, you can kind of give him a pass. He's young, you know, he's taking direction from George, like you're supposed to do, like you're paid to do, and Jar Jar Binks just kind of came out, and George Lucas like, that is perfect, roll with that, keep rolling, and like, everybody was kind of like, really? And you know, George's like, yes, that the children, everybody is going to love it, and that is the problem. See, if anything, if there is anything that Lucasfilm has needed, Lucasfilm seems to need a no man. Like, you know, you've heard of like the yes men, they just say yes to everything you're doing, and like, you know, when billions and billions of dollars are on the line, you know, and you know, you sort of just want to trust the leader, whoever's in charge, and when they say, you know, this is going to be great, everyone is going to love it, you want to say yes. I mean, was there anybody anywhere on staff that had ever watched Hollywood Shuffle? It wasn't even the worst part of the Phantom Menace. The worst part was the Metachlorians. With just one stupid made-up word, Star Wars took this beautiful and impactful, globally impactful political message, just sort of picked it up and walked it over to the other people, and just sort of, you know, like, and we were like, we were still playing with that. We have that back? Yeah, Metachlorians, apparently Anakin Skywalker was some kind of a, like, you know, the genetic super Jesus or something, which you are born into. And so the Force, you know, that surrounds us and binds us, the energy field that is, you know, forever, apparently it's not so for everybody anymore. I think Star Wars came out and I didn't like it. Like, we were ready, I mean, for another Star Wars movie immediately. We were like, just forget that one. We'll set that one aside. Can you make an awesome one? You know, Star Wars movies, they take some time to make. And in the time in between that first prequel and the second prequel, a lot of things happened. It was a time of politics for humanity and the planet Earth. The year 2001, year 2000, 2001, 2002, these were years of significant things happening. Lots and lots of political things happening, and I was thinking, man, this is like, I mean, if ever there was a time that we needed Star Wars to deliver, and deliver some kind of, like, you know, super impactful political message, now is the time. And so I was like, man, I hope this is good. I hope this is super good. I hope this is super awesomely great. And, you know, or, you know, I just hope it has like a really, really good political message for our times. There was only so far you could go in terms of overt political message at the time. They went as far as you could really go in a big budget Hollywood thing. I mean, like, I saw that movie and I was like, this pretty much says that the things that George W. Bush is doing are really super wrong. And I felt that like really helped to vindicate the things I was feeling and doing at the time. I appreciated it, but I was wrong in hoping for either an awesome movie or a powerful political message, because I did not realize how utterly useless a powerful political message is in a movie that people don't really care about. Another, with the special effects and the action and the boom and what else? And it's also strange because like Ewan McGregor and Natalie Portman were somehow able to rise through it. Like, I mean, they came off as like Star Wars people that you know, cared about and didn't want bad things to happen to them or whatever. But like, I mean, I guess if they're gonna have like a prequel trilogy and the main person in it is already starting off with the name Anakin Skywalker, like you pretty much know that guy is going to be like a terrible dude, because you've seen the episodes 4, 5, and 6 that came out 20 years earlier. And so you kind of need like a really good explanation, or you need to become emotionally invested in that guy. You need to like care about his turmoils, or like just there's something needs to happen. And I feel like you know, like Hayden Christensen and Ahmad Best, and like there are certain actors that just like I don't think they were given the script or the tools or the direction or just something that they needed to be able to like do their jobs properly, that somehow just wasn't there. And so here's a true story about my relationship with episode 3 of the Star Wars trilogy. A lot of people say episode 3 was a lot better. I wish I knew. Tell you the truth, episode 3 came out at a time where I was working a very, very strenuous job. It was physically strenuous and it was stressful and all that, and I was working long hours and everything. I was making enough money so that I wasn't, you know, bothered by laying down some money to go see it. I went to see it by myself in between some shifts, and I promptly fell asleep. And I slept for a long time, I think, because, and I know I was asleep because I remember waking up at the end of it when it was all over, remembering very little about it. And time anybody ever tells me about things about episode 3, yeah. But it's like that's kind of like what happened. Is like Star Wars was this formative thing that like shaped my destiny and made me want to champion good and oppose evil. And I spent probably more than half of my waking hours as a kid engaged in some kind of Star Wars imagination play for multiple years. And then I had sort of fallen off of it to the extent that there was a movie that came out and I saw maybe a third of it and never even cared enough to go back and rewatch it, I'm sorry to say. Couldn't tell you about the politics of it. Couldn't tell you, but I haven't watched Clone Wars or the animated CGI series that I believe people tell me it's wonderful, and it's set in that whole same kind of time period as the prequels. I believe them. I can't do it. First of all, I just don't even watch TV these days. But second of all, like, the prequels were so heartbreaking. I mean, they were so disappointing. And I tried to submit my heart to be broken for episode 3. I was like, I made an honest effort. But fell asleep. Sorry. But hey, I stayed awake for all 3 movies of the sequel trilogy, and that video is coming up next. So please do join me for that video, and thank you for watching this video. Peace.